Yeah, it has. A couple of the guys were impressive in their whackouts, and a couple of the other guys, it was their misfortune to face opponents who really didn't want to fight.
Yeah, the whackers were fine. It was the wackies that was the problem. And we're going on here as we take it to the center of the ring and Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the heavyweight division, and when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action will be Benji Estevez. Introducing to you first, fighting to my left out of the red corner, he's wearing the gold trunks with black trim and weighed in at 208 pounds. Hailing from Grand Rapids, Michigan, he has a professional record of 5 wins, just 1 loss, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rahman Green. And his opponent, fighting directly across from him out of the blue corner. Tonight, he's wearing white trunks with blue trim and weighed in at 215 pounds. Coming to us from the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, he is undefeated with 4 wins and 3 of them coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Fres, the Big O, Okendo. Once again, your referee in charge, Benji Estevez, now to give the instructions.
Benji Estevez will give the instructions to the fighters, Fres Okendo and Rahman Green. And once again, the question is, with Rahman Green, he has only 1 knockout in his 6 fights, but the good news is it came in his last fight. And Benji waiting on the camera here. As,
Good luck to both of you.
We take it to the Budweiser tail of the tape. Green a couple of inches taller and 7 pounds lighter, about the same age, and little to choose in the reach department also. So these two seemingly evenly matched. Okendo might have a little bit more pop, as he scored 3 knockouts in his 4 fights, and Green, while winning 5 of his 6, has just the 1 TKO. So we're set to go.
I think Benji Estevez wanted that airtime here tonight.
Looked like it, didn't it?
It's interesting. Actually, you're right about these two being evenly matched, Barry, because of the fact that they did fight twice in the amateur ranks and they each won once. So at least going off of that and going off their respective records here, this could be a competitive bout.
Okendo, and we mentioned this the last time we saw him, was a high school football quarterback. Not a lot of quarterbacks in the boxing game. Translation from football to boxing is not an easy one. Or transition,
oh, really?
I should say. Yeah. Would you ask Mark Gastineau?
Yeah, he was terrific.
Ask Too Tall Jones.
I just can't understand how a guy a foot shorter than them could be doing that to them.
Yeah, that's right.
Okendo had some trouble in the last fight we saw him in Chicago just last month. He fought Sam Williams, and although he eventually stopped Williams, he did have some rough moments along the way. Had a very good amateur record, 98-6 Okendo did.
Slapping left hand from Green. And a pretty good right hand as Okendo just ducked into that right hand from Green. I don't think either one of these guys is really going to scare you with their power.
Step at it, no punches, step at it, both of you.
Word on Rahman Green is that he does work hard in the gym.
All right, step out.
Pretty good jab.
Step out.
And he's been getting work with very good fighters. Nate Jones, Adolfo Washington, a world champion. And I think that helps. You work against those guys a couple of 3 times a week, you're going to improve.
Okendo got there with a quick right hand, then slapped with a right hand behind it. Again, a left hand by Green, but he doesn't really set down on those punches. And a good stiff jab from Okendo.
I think that's the best thing in the arsenal of Okendo is that jab of his. He's pretty mobile, pretty fluid. You can see he's an athlete in there. He does throw a nice jab.
Does he throw a good pass? That's
Apparently he throws a better jab than he did a pass.
No knockdown, no knockdown, no knockdown. Ah, no punches.
Oh, there's a punch after the bell. And that opened up the nose, actually, of Rahman Green.
Crowd reacting to the ring card girls because they haven't gotten much work here tonight.
They haven't gotten past 4, I know that.
The bell rang and Okendo had one more charge left in him at the end of the round. That was called no knockdown by Benji Estevez. That was earlier in the round. Now you see him rush at him right at the end of the round. And Estevez, you could hear him right before the bell had said, no more punching, and Okendo still managed to get that last one off.
Maybe just one more.
Seconds out. Make sure he's got that ice, all right?
Well, that cut you could see is on the right side of the nostril. It's in a very strange place. He's not bleeding from the nose. He's bleeding from the side of the nose. And it was caused by that last punch. I'm not sure I've ever seen a cut in that particular place.
Well, see, Barry, and you just figured you'd seen it all in
there
boxing.
You are. And every time I do, huh?
I don't even think Benji Estevez even gave a warning to Okendo after that round. I think he had kind of started a charge toward Green.
No punches. Step out, both these. Clean.
Basically, the punch was the last part of that charge, and so he was pretty much into it. So I don't even think Estevez, the referee, was very concerned about it.
I don't think Green was either, for that matter. Both these guys showing a pretty healthy respect for one another.
Yeah, they're waiting a lot. I think that Okendo should be throwing that jab of his out a little bit more.
That's very similar to the last fight we saw with Okendo. Green is getting there with his punches, but he lunges with his punches. He's not really set on his punches. That was a slapping right hand from Okendo. Counter right hand from Okendo.
Step out, both of you. Clean.
Okendo, very nice kid, very articulate. I was able to spend some time with him here at the hotel last night. Talked to him and Wolfgram at length last night in the lobby of the Trump Marina. And they were a pleasure to be around, the two of them. It's what we say so often about boxing, that the best thing about the sport, I think, is the fighters themselves.
Without question, and I've said this many times, but, because I deal with athletes in a lot of different sports as you do, and as a group of athletes, I think I'd rather talk with and interview fighters than maybe anybody else.
Well, people don't realize how gentle a lot of these guys are outside the ring.
Absolutely. Football players and basketball players are far more violent, I believe, than fighters. And the other thing I like about them, too, is that when you ask almost to the number a fighter a question, they give you a thoughtful answer. They don't just give you the, we play them one at a time.
Let him go. No punch. Watch Kitty. Turn around. Turn around.
That was a good left hand, and that shook Green.
Yeah, knocked his mouthpiece out, in fact. Turned him right around and knocked his mouthpiece out.
And now they'll wash out the mouthpiece. Torrance is going to take his time, I think, to do this. I thought it was Green's mouthpiece, but in fact it was Okendo's mouthpiece.
Green got turned around, but Okendo's mouthpiece flew out.
And again, a slapping right hand is Okendo. And Rahman Green.
We mentioned that they fought twice in the amateurs. Each guy won one time. Both of those fights did go the distance. Okendo nor Green is going to score many knockouts, I don't believe, in the professional ranks.
Now, Okendo has a tendency to slap with his power punch. Doesn't slap with the jab, oddly enough, but he does slap with the right hand. And
No.
Green is just a little unschooled in how he throws his punches.
When he throws that jab out to Okendo, it is a long jab. I mean, he can stay off at a long range and get you.
All right, break. Step out of there. Step out of there. Watch the head go. Don't hit him behind the head. Let's go.
They have been charging at each other, and there's a real danger of a headbutt here. So Benji Estevez wisely warns them to watch their heads. You can see Green especially ducks his head as he comes in. There was a little clash of heads right there as Okendo bounced off the ropes. Pretty good combination from Green.
And that's a pretty good jab too by Green, which he's showing. Neither guy has been able to sustain an attack, though. It's a problem. It's all sporadic. A jab or two here or there, maybe a cross here or there. Nothing really sustained over a course of time.
Must admit, it's kind of nice to have a competitive fight, though.
That's always nice.
Both of you step back.
You can see Green, too, is right in front of Okendo and doesn't give you a lot of angles. That's the thing that also can and probably will be learned by a young fighter. Any fighter wants to learn about angles, just look at Murky Sosa. It's the original article in terms of...
He's kind of a nightmare to fight.
All right, break. Get him out.
Swelling under Okendo's eye is not getting any better. It's nothing that should affect the outcome, I wouldn't think.
Let him go, let him go.
At this juncture.
What is happening here is when Okendo now sees Green rushing at him, he just grabs and hangs on to him rather than allow Green to get anything going. As soon as Green starts that rush toward him.
5 seconds, no punching.
And again, there really is in this fight the very real danger of a headbutt, as they have come so close so many times. Going into the corner of Fres Okendo. They will likely get end swell on that swelling under the eye.
Why can't you judge the distance, damn it, and get close to that man? Put your hands up, this is the last round.
Last round, clean touch, right?
You're throwing the right hand from 10 feet away.
Last round, give me clean touch, all right? Good luck.
You got to have this round, or you're going to lose this damn fight. You got to step up to this man. Your hands up, jab, hook, right hand.
Take a look at your card in this fight, Rich, and you have it as a winnable fight, really, for Green if he has a big final round.
Yeah, I gave the first 2 rounds, and they were close rounds, but I did give the first 2 rounds to Okendo. I gave that last round to Green.
Stay there. Touch and step back.
Final round here is Fres Okendo and Rachman Green come to the center of the ring, and the fight could hang in the balance.
All right, step out of there, both of you. Come on, clean.
Green trying to stay a little closer, looks like, and hits Okendo with a combination. Not a big one, but nonetheless a combination. Good right hand from Okendo. Maybe the best punch of the fight.
So just like that previous fight against Sam Williams, Okendo has some rough moments and then all of a sudden comes alive.
That left hand knocked Green backwards.
Yeah, and that was a jab, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was.
Okendo, like, where'd he go?
I think Green's hurt. Big right hand drops it. Right on the button.
Oh, boy, I don't know. That last round or what was a wake-up call for Okendo, who just...
6, 7, 8, step forward.
What a shot. And Okendo lost a few seconds in the count there because he had gone away from the neutral corner.
Well, he could jump on him right now because Green is still gone. Down he goes. And that's it. Very wisely done by Fres Okendo. Knew he had his man in big trouble. Knew he was only going to take one punch and just got on him right now. A lot of fighters don't recognize when their man is in serious trouble. Okendo certainly did in that case.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's a stupid sport, isn't it?
Well, after Green's very best round, Okendo came on, and look at that right hand, a crushing right. He put his body completely into it. He's already coming forward, leaning forward, so the whole weight of his body completely behind that punch.
And right on the button. That's like one of those video games.
And here's the second and final knockdown, again with the right hand. And Oquendo, just like that last fight, has a few rough moments and then comes back to KO his man.
So an impressive final round, to say the least, for Fres Okendo, who has kept his record unbeaten, and we'll make it all official when we come back. The final round. Let's get it officially now from Thomas Trevor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the official time, 1 minute 17 seconds of the fourth round. Referee in charge, Benji Estevez, stops the bout with your winner by technical knockout, Fres, the Big O, Okendo.
Well, the Big O with a big W, and that'll make Thel Torrance in his corner very happy. Thel Torrance, incidentally, a guy who was schooled at the knee of the Master, and the Master this week retired, one of the greats.
And that's Eddie Futch at the age of 86, calling it a career, and what a career, Barry.